All right, y'all, Shalom. We about to get started. So we gonna move the camera up. I'm trying to figure out where we want to do it.
Do it right here.
Well, how's it gonna face downward though?
Need to face around.
Well, let's see. Let's see what the view is like. You good? Yeah, just put it right here, and then just kind of scooch it back. What we looking at? All right.
And look, if it's messed up at an angle because it's in the bag, put something behind the bag to still force it forward.
Okay, that'll work. Let me see. I will be using this today.
I got one too.
Cool. There we go. And then let's see. Let's see what we're looking at. All right. So we gonna stand like right here-ish, like we always do, but we're not gonna stay on the line. Yeah. I'm about to turn the light down so don't kill the battery. But we gonna put this off to the side, so if anybody comes up, they'll see what we all about, and we just gonna have our discussion out in the open. All right. 'Cause, yeah, ain't no real traffic out here today. So. All right, if everybody want to get in the camera, we're going to go ahead and salute in and get this rocking. He already taped. Well, I got another Bible anyway, it don't matter. All right, y'all, to the camera. This week it's going to be a little different. As y'all might have overheard me say to the brothers, ain't a lot of traffic out here because it's really cold. And here in San Antonio, when it's like 40, 50 degrees, there's really no foot traffic. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an out and open discussion on who Yahawashi is to us, right? And we're going to keep it scriptural like we always do. And when our people walk by, you know, we're going to fade over here, right? When people come by. And we're going to basically do what we always do. But in the meantime, we just going to have our discussion. All right? Let me turn the light down. Bam. All right, there we go. Still rolling. It is. All right, y'all.
Wait, hold on. There ain't nobody car right there, right?
No. I
think he's dropping it.
Yeah, he's dropping it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said when I was like, man, he got somebody. But why he pulling into the parking lot, I don't know.
They probably come and pick it up.
All right. So, those of y'all who got your Bibles, go ahead and turn with me to Luke 9 real quick and go to verse 18. I'm going to read it out loud. Because during the time of Yahawashi, one of the things that we often don't go over is how Yahawashi really didn't give everybody the sense of who he was and what he was saying. A lot of times, he even said, after I basically am crucified and resurrected, then you'll get the sense of what I'm saying. Then you'll understand the prophecy, right? Let me grab this real quick. This is Luke chapter 9 and verse 18.
Bring it up.
And it came to pass, as he was alone praying, his disciples were with him, and he asked them, saying, whom say the people that I am? So I ask that question to you. Who is Yahawashi according to the prophecies of the Bible to you? Because a lot of us, we say we worship Yahawashi, we say we keep the laws of God, but when it comes to who he is and describing his personage and his likeness and his behaviors, a lot of times we don't have a chance to go into it in detail. And we're going to do that today, right? If y'all could, man, I'm going to have to grab my other Bible, man, damn. It's a lot. Yeah, this Bible finally falling apart, y'all. But can y'all slide over to John 10? And we're going to go slowly through this whole chapter. And what we're going to do is, as I said, if you got a precept, bring it out. But we're going to go through some of the exploits and the deeds of our Messiah so we can show a better picture of who he is. And before we get to John 10, I'm going to read this in John 9 and 4. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. These are the words of Yahawashi, right? So I have a question. If he's not here anymore, who's that light? Well, did he say? That's right. He said, ye are the light of the world, right? So in his absence, we're supposed to be giving the knowledge that he dispensed out to our people, right? Let's slide over to 10. And Brother Amon, if you can start at 1. And you don't have to read it that loud. You can just read it kind of medium. You know what
I'm either low on.
I'm saying? Hey, man.
John chapter 10, verse 1.
Look it out.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And
so I have a question. Based on what has been read so far, what do you think of Yahushua in terms of his role as a sheep herder? Because when it describes him basically accomplishing the work of taking care of the sheep, it shows that he's dedicated to his flock, and he's not just aggregating any sheep. The sheep that obey his voice, that hear him, those are the sheep that he's tending to. So that tells you he's a very honorable man in terms of maintaining his duties and his position. Where can you go in the Bible that can prove that? There should be one, basically one verse that we bring out day in and day out. Matthew 15:24. So, if a brother could grab that, and then if somebody could slide back to Matthew 10, because it said again there where he says, "Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel," right? Because again, if Yahushua is dedicated to the sheep, and then he's directing us to be likewise, and we ought to walk as he walked, then we need to take note of how he accomplished his job. Just reading about it is not enough. You need to understand personally what this is saying, what this is describing in terms of his likeness and his behavior. Somebody give you that in Matthew 15:24?
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So you see again that Yahushua is speaking of sheep. He specifies who is of his fold, right? This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, and freely give. Now, what did they receive? Remember what I read when basically him saying, as long as I'm with you, I'm the light of the world. What did he give them? Light. He gave them wisdom. And what was the following command? As you receive, freely give.
Right.
So as you've heard, go and do likewise. That was the whole commission of them being sent out to the so-called Gentiles, right? Or even being sent out to the southern kingdom that was still in Judea. That's still a commission. They're being given a role, a job, or a duty to go accomplish. That's why understanding how Yahushua went about his work is very important, right? Let's go back to John 10. I need y'all to keep pulling precepts, man. Because this is the milk of the scriptures. Because a lot of times we get caught up in teaching about the law, teaching about obeying God, and those things are very important. But the number one thing that we need to be teaching about is who the Messiah is. Because more times than not, when people walk up to you, they're Christian, and they're saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But then when you say, well, that's not who Yahushua is, wait a minute, are we reading the same book? So why do we have a different image or understanding of who this person is? And you should be able to explain that, right? But keep reading, brother.
John chapter 10, verse 5.
Bring it out.
And the stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of the strangers. Keep on going.
Well, speak on it.
So, to me, what I'm getting from that is people that aren't of the chosen flock aren't going to hear him, so they're not going to know of him, so they're not going to follow him.
Now, what can you pull to prove that? Go ahead, Brad.
I need my other Bible. I don't have it marked in this.
I will show my word, but unto Jacob.
Go ahead and pull it. You're talking about Psalms 147, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All praises. Get it when you got it.
Precept.
Whoever's got theirs first, go ahead and pull it.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 47.
Bring it out.
He that is of God heareth God's word. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God.
So those who come up to these, to our spots, to our camps, even if you're dealing with them in a grocery store and they just seem to not be able to get it, no matter how you break it down, how you simplify it, it might be because the Most High God ain't choose them. They might be a vessel fitted for destruction, or it might not be their time to wake up yet, right? Now, just to cheat a little bit, this is John 10 and 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. So Yahweh Shai let you know, hey, look, the people who are meant to get this, they're going to understand. And they're going to do what they're told and what they're commanded to do. Those who are like, hey, man, you know what? Don't call anything common or unclean. I can eat pork. Or, hey, man, I don't have to marry that woman I slept with. It was just a one-night stand. What's the big deal? And you're letting them know biblically that these are tenets that the Most High God commanded you to follow. And they just don't get it. They might not be one of those sheep. Right? Let Donnie get his first.
It's Psalms 147, 19 to 20. It's he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. Verse 20, he have not dealt so with any nation, as for the judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Speak on it.
Oh, it's quite simple. It's just he's letting you know that Jacob, whoever comes from Jacob, who name changed to Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, that if you're not a part of that seed, that bloodline, then he ain't dealing with you. Period.
Come. Well
and
said.
this is the only ones that's given the law, given the covenants, given the new and the old covenant, and we're the only ones that can be adopted back into the fold. You know what I'm saying? So this is nothing but for the 12 tribes. That's it. And if you ain't a part of Jacob, you ain't nothing.
What you got, brother?
We were talking about how we need to be obeying them, following them. You were mentioning how we need to be obeying and following, Jesus Christ. What came to mind for me was John 14 and 15. Because a lot of our brothers and sisters, they talk about Jesus Christ all the time, but they really ain't focusing on like everything that he said. They're pick and choose. So we go to so this is book of John, book of John chapter 14, verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. So this is pretty easy to understand. If you love Jesus Christ, and how Shah Hebrew, you would obey every word that he says. So one of the things that our brothers fail to obey is go to look at Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. There's some key verses in there that give us an idea on the type of stuff that we need to be obeying. That a lot of our people are not obeying. That's why we're suffering. Let's start with 17. Let's start with verse 13.
The book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men.
You know,
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
all right. So, you know, we talked about how Yahushua, he's a light. So when he's not here, you know, disciples and those after that are, you know, doing the work, that are also being shepherds, they're supposed to be the same light.
Oh.
So, and we know that, you know, the word is synonymous to light, you know, according to yeah, we can hit that up real quick.
I'll read it. I'll get it. So you can look at it. What you need, Proverbs.
Yeah, 6.
Oh,
I got it.
all right.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23.
All right.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instruction are the way of life.
So here, you know, this is the Old Testament, and light is being referred to as a commandment, and it guides our path. You know, so at this point, I'm sorry, and here back in Matthew, you know, if we're the light, then Jesus Christ is the light for us. He's supposed to guide us and show that's going to guide and show us how we need to be living, but which requires action, which requires instruction, like it said, and in Proverbs goes with that. You know, reproof and instruction is a way of life. So to correct ourselves, we have to be following those commandments. The fact that we have something else that we need to be obeying, in that we see that there's something else that we were doing that makes us not follow Christ. And so we have something to obey now, which is those commandments, because we weren't doing that before. That's why he came in the first place, because we needed a light. There was darkness before he came, and without his commandments, you know, there's only darkness. But
I got a precept real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
This is Psalms 119 and verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So like the brother is saying, you know, the light that we were given from the Most High God, starting with him, throughout the prophets, and then unto Yahushua, that light has now been given to us. And it's our responsibility, dare I say our duty, to give it to our people, right? One of the things that you see right now, as you, like I pulled up, you literally said there's a nigga talking about we Canaanites. Our people are in gross darkness. And you got to remember, a lot of our people, they hate this light because it reveals their actions to be evil, wicked, lazy, and slothful. So many times, it's not just the fact that a person's not chosen to receive it. It's also the fact that they don't want to be reproved. A lot of men are ashamed of their sin. That's one thing that you can count on, especially Judah. When you start trying to correct Judah, Judah has 100 excuses. And then they want to fight you and argue with you. When you're trying to correct them out of love. Because the weakest link in the chain is going to break. So you're trying to strengthen brothers and sisters while we have a chance to be reforged by this light. Right? Anybody else got a precept?
Yeah, I was holding that. Took my precept.
Hey, man, that's
We
spirit,
jump to,
man.
Verse 30 right here in the same chapter, it says, the entrance of thy words giveth light. It giveth understanding to the simple. Right? So the entrance of the Most High's word, that's the light.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? His words, what in verse 105 says, it says, it's a lamp unto my feet, a light to my path, man. It's teaching you the way to go, right? And then I had another precept for that John 10 and 5. It said, and a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. I dropped it. It's Matthew 24. Verse 9. Let's start at verse 10. It says, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right, so it's lining up with what it said in John. The sheep aren't gonna follow strangers. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna endure to the end, and that's how you can tell if you're a sheep or not. If you're a real disciple of Christ, a real follower of Christ, if you're enduring to the end. That's the criteria.
Because, you know, the scriptures say, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. You weak.
Yeah, we was talking about that.
Hey, man. And this is to the camera. It's a trying time right now, man. Did you see all them floods and shit that's happening in Kentucky? It's the same that happened in
And
North
then
Carolina.
all of a sudden it started to freeze over because the weather's changed.
Yeah.
See that in Detroit?
Well,
The whole damn city got flooded, and it froze overnight.
Oh.
Cars
Oh,
froze
yeah, yeah,
froze
that's
with water
crazy.
in the streets up to here.
That's crazy,
The whole
yeah.
street.
So, like,
that remind me of that. What's that movie? The Day After Tomorrow.
That shit's
Yeah.
insane.
It's just a flood, and then all of a sudden, then everything froze over, like he's saying.
now, the thing that people don't realize is the Most High God does things in cycles. His judgment is likened unto a ring. Somebody get that for me? I believe that's 2 Ezra 5:42, right? One of the things that's happening now is the Most High God is doing what he's always done. He did this to the Roman Empire. You can look this up on Google right now. When Rome was falling, it got colder. And it got inordinately cold where they couldn't plant crops and they were having outbreaks of disease. What's happening here in America? Disease is now starting to outbreak. They talking about the Marburg virus or whatever.
Measles.
Well,
New
measles.
measles outbreak too.
Yeah, you
That
got
started?
measles. Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
trying to say there's another COVID. They're saying there's
Yep.
all these other diseases starting to break out. But that's because now you can't even get healthy food.
Right.
How you gonna get fresh vegetables that have vitamin C in it, that staves off disease, potassium, vitamin D from the sun, but they keep spraying the damn sky.
That's Esau's pride, though. He destroyed himself.
That's right.
So that that's just once again, it's cycles. It's the Most High showing you the pride of Esau once again.
Yeah,
Nigga want that porridge, but he don't want the blessing.
that's right.
He want to take the riches of the world and run the world,
That's crazy.
but he not looking at the long haul.
But you got to remember, what's his name? It means
Esau
wasted away is he.
Yeah.
No.
Yup,
You start
that
off
shit
strong,
crazy. Yup.
but you start to decay
street, bro.
and corrupt and waste
That
away.
shit crazy.
Yeah,
They
speaking
don't know
on
how to
the
use
way you can get the vitamins now is some man-made shit.
Correct.
Yeah, that ain't really all that good for you.
Damn
They
fruit
taking
we
seeds
buy.
out of everything
yeah, that's
now
what I
and
was about to
then.
say. Ain't no seeds in the fruit. We
Yup.
buying
Making this what is it, GMO, what you call it, Beyond Meat.
You gotta, they made it so that now, in order for you to get something that's halfway decent, you gotta literally read the labels of everything.
Yep.
You gotta look at the Q card. I mean, the Q card, but the
QR code.
QR code, because the codes actually let you know was GMO, was natural, whatever. So you gotta read the QR code. You gotta know all this stuff just to get good food.
Yeah, it's the same with your fruit. If it's a 4-digit number,
Yeah, it's a 4-digit. Yeah.
then that means it's GMO. But
Yep.
if it's a 5-digit number, but it begins with a 9, that means it's organic. But if it begins with something else, it's something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Then
Madness.
you got with the
Kosher label, too.
with the what? It's like
kosher label, yeah.
no, it's 5 and something else. Where it's organic, but then it's organic with pesticides.
Yeah.
Instead of organic without pesticides. So yeah.
Yeah.
So you know now you got to clean it real good when you get home because you got pesticides on top. You just can't grab it and eat it.
Huh.
Certified.
So
But,
yeah,
but
it's
the Most High
crazy.
God told Ezekiel, we're going to eat our food defiled among the Gentiles.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to brothers and sisters out there who are thinking, like, man, I spend, an extra $100 a month making sure my food's organic. I got news for you, man. That food's still defiled.
I mean that goes
Same
both
shit.
ways though too. Food for thought, knowledge. Our knowledge that we're receiving is defiled too. Look at how they're trying to flood the school system with this LG, whatever the fuck the letters are, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Them
yeah.
people,
Alphabet soup.
the
Don't say that.
alphabet soup, yeah. Trying to tell them it's okay to be just abominable shit. So just knowledge itself is even corrupted.
Even with that, I said a video. My father got arrested because his son came home with makeup on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
he,
saw
he
that.
talked to him first, and then he did it a day passed, and he did it the following day. So I guess he put a little. I don't know if he put hands on him, whatever. But
He
went
checked
back.
him.
Yeah, he went back to school, told the teacher, and they called the cops, and he ended up getting arrested.
Parents can't be parents no more.
Yeah.
Bring that out
Crazy
real quick, though.
stuff.
Second Ezra. Yes, sir.
It's the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5, and verse 42.
Bring it out.
And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
So the Most High God, he ain't changing it up. Because why would you change something that ain't broke?
Don't freeze.
Last time I checked, hurricanes destroy kingdoms. I don't give a fuck if it's made out of iron, bronze, silver, adamantium. Hurricane gonna break that shit up. I think your camera froze, brother.
That's what he said. You will build up, and I will tear down.
Yeah, Most High God is holding true to the promises that he made in Malachi 1:4.
Yep.
And I just happen to be holding a precept. This is Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. See, a lot of times we think of the Most High God and his laws, but we don't think of the judgments upon the other nations. Because if he didn't judge these nations the way that he is, they would destroy us. Because that's actually what they're trying to do now. Have you seen what Trump is trying to do in terms of passing legislation where essentially if you're just a dissent, like you're a dissent, you are dissenting. What's the term for it? No, it's like
Oh, dissident.
dissident. There you go. If you're a dissident, you can literally be put in jail. Like if you're talking about the small hats, they're putting stricter laws. Where if you're talking about Amalek, you could be prosecuted and put in jail for that. And they're saying they might not even put you in jail, they might deport you. So the question is, for all these Judites out here talking about Northern Kingdom and our people, where you gonna go if you get deported? Your ass going right to Mexico, and you're gonna be looking around at people who could be your brothers, but instead they're your fucking enemies because you don't know how to appreciate your family.
That's right.
Because the Mexican people, they stood up for us when slavery was at its height, and they allowed us to cross their border and be free. And now we have a short memory because we don't read, so now we view them the same way we view white folks. But the sad part is we treat the white man with respect, and the Mexican man we treat like trash.
Right. Bring that out.
It's upside down, man. But that all comes from not knowing who the sheep are. Hey, Shalom, brother. How you doing, man?
That Steven shit going on. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh my God.
That's what it is for real.
I never thought Steven from Django was like a real character until I started seeing our brothers and sisters in government.
Man,
And did you see that one black woman? She was singing Amazing Grace at some type of Republican or Democratic rally, and she was putting passion into it.
You know,
And I'm just like, damn, like the coonery knows no bounds. But that's our people. What you got, brother?
no, I was just gonna say, my wife was doing a woman's hair, regular, and I talk to the women when they come through. I don't like always being subverted to the dungeon. You know what I mean? Putting them
Back
in the
room.
dungeon, yeah. You know, like a house cat. But you know, sometimes I watch stuff, I put stuff on when I got the ability to do so. But I talk to women, and sometimes I raise the topics that are conducive to rebuilding our people. You know, sometimes it gets a little biblical or spiritual. Sometimes it goes with divine ordinance. You know, a man over the household, things like that. You know, another pragmatic solution that we're finding our way to now, right? But I was talking to a sister recently. She works in the government, and again, it's like one of the situations where they can't say too much. You know what I mean? They can tell you, you know, so much, and then the other stuff they don't speak on. And the funny part was during this conversation, you know, we speaking on race. I think she brought it up first, but it, you know, white man this, white man that, you know, all of that. She lived in Germany, dated a white man. I know that. But then when it came to, yeah, you know, America's policing the world. She was kind of still going with the same wave of like, you know, these people oppressing us and not gonna do nothing for us and all of that. But then the tune kind of switched up later on to where she ended up defending America in the acts that it commits, where it goes right along to a point about our people cooning for the government. She actually said, you know, in some cases she could see why it's necessary for America to have military bases all over the world, and what we do to help other people and police them. And the reality of the situation is,
Stockholm Syndrome at its finest.
well, some cases, you know, you hear, I mean, I don't know how valid the stories are, but you do hear about civil unrest in America going in there to police that, but the reality of the situation is, why the fuck is America there to police it in the first place?
There you go.
And then a lot of times you got to think about it, they the ones that put them people in turmoil to begin with.
right.
You know, we see that throughout time, and it's funny, just like I said, going back to your point, you know, it went from, you know, damn near saying a white man's the devil without saying it, to goddamn caping for the government, and she does good work, and like you said, it's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome, but it's like a, what's that, that cognitive dissonance. You gotta allow yourself to to give yourself the idea that what you're doing is not actually for the affliction of our people in the world, but you're actually doing something good for the world. And that's the American lie that people have bought into in the Kool-Aid.
So
I
I'm
got a
gonna give
precept
you
for you,
an example real quick. So, okay, there are countries in the world that does want America's presence there because they do have tyrants as leaders, right? For example, with Iraq, the Iraqis didn't want Saddam in power because of what he was doing to the people of the north. You know what I'm saying? How he gassed them and how he just treated
The
the
Kurds.
Kurds up there, right?
Yeah.
So that is true, but let me show you what America does, and they don't talk about this at all. So when we invaded, right, we took over a lot of territory. Power was cut off, water, no fresh water, no power, no nothing, right?
Yeah.
Bush made a promise to the Iraqi people, said, look, let us get him out of office. Once we do, we're gonna provide you guys within your own goddamn country to rebuild the infrastructure. You will have the jobs. We won't deal with that. We'll just provide the security, right? Guess what happened? Money.
Yep.
Who wrote in? Halliburton, KBR. Guess what? Didn't give the people the jobs like they said it was. I can tell you right now, there was a period of time because the people believed what he was saying that literally we wasn't getting attacked at all. We spent a whole month without not one firefighter, sit back just kicking it and just, you know what I'm saying?
That's unheard of today.
Nothing, right?
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Nothing, because they believed the Kool-Aid in which he had gave them, right? And they were drinking that shit until they saw the big corporations coming over, the billion-dollar corporations. And guess what? What did they do? They didn't hire in-house. They had people from the Philippines, people from Kuwait, people from all over the place coming and working, rebuilding their infrastructure when it was supposed to be for the people. Now the people was about food, light, working gas, electric, good running water or whatever. Sewage system was garbage. Everything was just messed up. And yet they were given a promise, and guess what? They're standing around, don't have a job, they can't make any money, they're not feeding their families. Say, fuck this. So they created 8 different terrorist organizations within the country, was not only fighting us, but fighting each other for power of that damn little country.
Shoguns.
You know what I'm
Military
saying?
juntas. Hold on, let me get this precept
So-
real quick.
I get what she's saying in that aspect because it is true some countries do want us there, but we never gonna keep our word. It's the Indian handshake shit, and it's always gonna be America's always gonna do what? Stab somebody in the back.
Betrayal.
Constantly. It's always.
I got something for that. This is Isaiah 14:5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. And that's what you're seeing. As America descends into economic turmoil and chaos, these other nations, they rubbing their hands like Birdman. Because they know opportunity is going to spring up out of that. America's got a chokehold on the whole world. That's why to our people, know who your sheep are, who your brothers are. You got to separate yourself from your enemies and take heed of your
But
friends.
see, the enemy is smart, so smart. And people are watching what they're doing. There's 2 parts of what the enemy is doing right now. They're patiently waiting before they do an actual physical military strike because two things is happening here that they're causing. Economics and civil unrest within this country. They know that we're so, our politicians are so dumb and pompous that they're going to cause us to fight each other. That's one.
Why
Two.
you wearing short ass shorts? I never understand it. I'm sorry, brother. This is the coochie cutters got me.
And then 2, economically, they're destroying us economically. And China's been doing it for years. And people ain't been paying attention to that. So economics and civil unrest within the country, that's what they're banking on. And once that happens, then they'll do it.
Tom.
The point I wanted to make, if I could, it's going to tie right in because I was going to speak on some of what you said. Part of the conversation and something I just want to reiterate for the camera to see is just that they'll say that Russia and China's evil for doing it, and you spoke on that. That's what I was going to make. Them going around the world and doing the same thing that basically America's doing, but it's not evil when America does it, but somehow
Right.
when China and Russia does it, it's evil, it's wicked, it's But the difference is I don't see China or Russia going around making laws in these other countries saying, here's some money, here's billions of dollars for abortion or homosexuality, sex changes and shit like that.
Sowing wickedness.
That's the only difference I see. Maybe I need to do more research, but I haven't seen that with Russia or China. But, compare all 3, like you said, they rubbing their hands like Birdman. Everybody's trying to get in and cast lots, you know, for power.
Now look. Now what if one of the countries invade us because they say, hey, look at what you're doing to your own citizens. These guys are being discriminated against constantly, so we're just gonna bomb you guys to free this one group of people.
While bombing the people you're trying to free.
And then two, like, why are we always getting other people's business when
Right.
that territory of Ukraine technically is Russian? And all Putin tried to do is unify his country back the way it used to be back in the day.
You know, it's crazy. I told that woman, I said, you know, same thing. It's none of our business. Oh, but she was like, oh, but it is our business. No, it's not. Because when Russia was in China, when Russia was in Cuba, we had a fucking bitch fit about that. America, you know what I mean? They had a big problem with that. Now these people are coming into Mexico. Where is it? Was it El Salvador and Cuba? America got a problem with that, but this is the same thing they've been doing. You know what I mean?
Look what they did to Puerto Rico, America, right? Not Russia, America. Puerto Rico was a thriving island, making mad money, doing very well. America comes in there and stick their nose in their business, say, hey, this was gonna happen. We're gonna help you guys out. You get a social. You don't have to pay taxes. We're not gonna make you a 51st state, but you become a Commonwealth. Right, citizens, right? Hey, you don't need a passport to come into the country, blah, 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 whatever. You get all these damn amenities and all this shit. But now, this, exactly, and this is the only thing that you can sell, this is the only thing you can grow. Now they dictate everything. And look at the country now, shit. They destroyed them economically.
So like, kind of added to the point you was making a second, or both of y'all actually, right? What America does, right? They fund the coup in these countries. They orchestrate the coup, and then once the government structure is toppled, they come in and insert their plans, right? And that's what they're doing. That's what they did in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Like they do that everywhere, and it's wicked as hell.
There's a good point that you just made. I want to jump on real quick before I forget it. Is that it's already been admitted by one powerful family in the world, the Rockefellers, right? They admitted that ever since the Revolutionary War, they funded both sides of the war in every war in history, right?
That's how they've got their wealth.
That's how they got their wealth.
Yeah.
Now this is my
French
point,
Revolution.
and I was just talking to my room about it this week. I said, it's funny how people just really don't understand how the government works. We want to keep blaming Biden. We want to keep blaming Trump. Do you not realize that all those executive orders was written up before he even went into office?
Yep.
He's just a puppet. He just signs his name on it.
Sign it
He's
off.
the fall guy. That's it. That's
first-
it.
the
He don't
first-
run this country.
His first week in office, man, he signed how many bills?
At least one a day.
I think it was more than
Nah,
that. Yeah.
man, one day he like hit up 10, 20,
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying?
He ain't writing up them bills. He's not writing them bills.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
He's
not reading.
He's
Do
not
you
reading
see what he
them.
said?
He's sitting there and
Thank
signing
you.
off.
Do you see what he says? Well, yeah, so go ahead, talk about it. Boom. He telling these guys to tell him what it's about.
Yep.
And he's, hey, this is a great thing. This is so great. We're going to help a lot of people. Sign. Next, yeah, talk about it. He's not talking about it. You know?
I got a precept for y'all. This is Sirach 10:1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. In what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So Donald Trump, he's among friends. That's why he's surrounded by people like Elon Musk and other oligarchs, or tycoons, whatever you want to call them, the ultra rich. But see, here's the thing: those are lesser luminaries. The people that we see and deal with, the real power brokers, you've never seen them before.
There you go.
You don't even know who they are.
The shadow government.
But going on, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So, and we know that person to be profitable to the earth is going to be Yahushua. That's why, again, going back to the central theme of the lesson today, or the discussion, who is Yahushua to us? Because we can say who he isn't by way of looking at rulership on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just the modern day rulership. You have rulership from days of old still influencing us today. For instance, we call ourselves thugs sometimes in our own neighborhoods, right? But if you look up the real thugs or the thuggees, they go back to Elon. And it was an Elamite king who his method of killing was strangulation. And it said that he strangled over 900 people with his bare hands. by himself.
You know, they made a movie about that, but it was they were trying to say it was this white dude. He was like an Armenian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. You got to remember, Esau's not just claiming your history; he's claiming everybody's history that he conquered.
Right.
That's why he says he's Naruto the ninja. He's the last samurai, Tom Cruise.
He's using that.
He's Brad Pitt. What was that movie called? The Mexican. I mean, shit, it don't get more blatant than that.
Damn,
You know what I'm
He's a
saying?
Pharaoh in Egypt.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh
Man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And here's the thing: when we actually expressed outrage, they say, "Well, it's a joke."
Yeah.
But we can't release a reverse minstrel show with us covered in chalk and white paint, talking about, yeah, buddy, so we're gonna go get scones and coffee. They would shout that shit down until basically it wouldn't be a theater.
They mad about Black Captain America.
Man,
They
yeah.
mad about
Oh
Black
yeah.
Black
They
Panther.
mad. You know they fired him.
James,
They fired Mackey.
Mackey, what's his
They
name?
fired him. Mackey. Yeah, they fired him. Yes, sir. They fired him.
Black Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
was trying to
they was
cancel that.
mad tight about that.
They was gonna make Idris Elba the next James Bond. They had a big problem.
Oh, they had
Yeah.
a
Fired.
oh,
And
they
no,
had
you
a fit
remember
about that.
the Black Jedi before you knew he wasn't a Jedi, Finn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were mad. They were like, so you gonna make the Jedi black? You got Mace Windu. We already gave you niggas something.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, but that's how they think. But can somebody? I'll grab it.
Salakia.
John 15.
I got to reach up on that. Hold on.
Go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get it.
But this is simple, but it's to the point.
I want to add something what you said.
Yeah, hold on. One second. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 26.
Bring it up.
But he answered and said, "It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs." And she said, "True, Lord. Yet the dogs eat from the crumbs that fall from the master's table." And then Jesus answered and said unto her, "O woman, great is thy faith." I'm gonna stop right there. But the point is, like you said, we already gave you Mace Windu, nigga. You know,
Yeah.
get over it.
That's enough.
That's what this world. That's what they do to. That's the crumbs. You know. We've talked about it plenty of times, all the contributions that our people have had, and our people want reparations. And the God honest truth is that, was it the Native Americans that made the syringe? Who made the syringe?
Somebody pull it up. Yeah, pull it up.
It was one of our people though, one of our tribe. You got it. But a lot of the inventions that we created, they can't possibly even pay us back for. You talking about OBG, gynecology, all this feminism, all this health, tampons, pads, all that stuff was contributed by men. But the gynecology ultimately started from our women being lab rats.
Marion J. Sims.
You know what I'm saying? So any woman anywhere screaming feminism and the choice and to kill their own child, and you know they still got to pay homage to our sisters for going through what they went through. You know what I mean? For them to even have a practice and say, hey, you know, everything's working right. You know, or you're pregnant. Because it wasn't like that before.
I have a question. Where in the Bible does it say that they made no account of our labor?
Oh,
Is that word for word?
Yeah.
it's,
Wisdom
they
of
speak-
Solomon
they speak,
5.
They speak lawfully concerning that person.
Well, that's one. Get that, but I'm gonna get it in Wisdom of Solomon 5, because that's one of the things that when we're trying to convey to our people, you can never do enough for these people to love you, because they don't count it as yours to begin with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like the brother is really touching on. If you understand what Marion J. Sims was even doing to our women, he was operating on basically on their vaginal cavity and their uteruses. And it was to fix something called a fistula.
Yeah.
When you puncture a organ's wall enough times, you have something called it's called a fistula, and it's a ball of scar tissue.
Almost like an abscess, but like you said, yeah.
Con, and it's very painful, and it doesn't move like the rest of the flesh. So when a woman would have intercourse, it would be extremely painful for her. He was going in without any anesthesia and removing these fistulas from our sisters. And he was using other slaves to help him conduct these surgeries with no anesthesia and no blood transfusion.
Shout out to Medical Apartheid.
Yeah.
That book, and then you talk, sewing cats and women and shit like that. Like that weird type of shit.
Oh.
What?
sewing cats in women's stomachs.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, excuse me. The cats were alive. They allowed the cats to farm themselves out.
Yeah. That's how they would kill you. Yeah. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. So it's like I said, you can never do enough. You can never speak words that are grand enough, promising enough for the white man to go, you know what? I'll give it a shot. He's always going to endure for a second. He's going to stab you in the back. Or you'll be another Dr. Martin Luther King, where you're used to further put the Israelites in a lower state. Because that's what Dr. Martin Luther King ended up saying. I've integrated my people into a burning house. What you got, brother?
On top of that, some of our people, they'll do so much for the white man. They might get a little something, but as soon as they mess up a little bit, they just want to cut them off completely. Like, nah, get out of here,
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73. I'm going to start at, I'm going to start at 3. The book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And that goes right to your point. A lot of our people see what they have, and it's like a fight with each other to get close to what they got or get what they have. Right. And I think even covetousness would possibly solve that issue. You know what I mean? If we looking at what they have, all the nice cars they have, it's a precept in Sirach that talks about that. I'm gonna look it up. But I don't even know how to start it. But the point is, like you said, I think covetousness would account for that. But a lot of our people have that type of spirit, and they look at what they have, and they're not. They want to get close to Master. They want to do what Master got. But this is verse 4. It says, there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. Neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. I'm going to stop right there. I got a little bit more. But, back to the point. Like you said, as soon as they make a mistake, it's violence. They kicking you off the job, you know what I mean? All type of stuff, they catch somebody else with a little bit of weed, a little bit of whatever, you know what I mean? They give them a slap on the wrist, they'll take it, let them go, and then they'll take that and go plant it on us. You know what I'm saying? For just being outside at the wrong neighborhood, wrong time of day or night. But they're violent.
I got a precept to add to that point, right? Talking about, and they don't regard the work we do.
Let me finish that. I gotta come over. This is verse 7, Psalm 73, verse 7. The eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through earth. Therefore his people return hither, and the waters of a full cup are wrung out unto them. And I'm gonna find that scripture in Sirach. But yeah, like they say things like, Sky Daddy, everybody's, and we know who that came from, right? We know who coined that phrase. But a lot of them say these things, or the lawful speaking about oppression. And it's crazy because this is something I was thinking about the other day. When any of our people say, oh man, that's, they getting that from them people, right? The Edomites. They say, oh man, that's over. You got to get over that. You weren't in slavery. Okay. Well, we got to get over that concerning our people. Do away with Juneteenth. Right. Fuck reparations. Yep. What's Black History Month? Fuck everything that has to do anything about it.
Brown Town.
Because if you can't take, don't worry about, don't fuck who's Harriet Tubman. Right. You know what I'm saying? If our people say that to us, you got to tell them, hey, you take everything concerning us and throw it down the drain. You know what I mean? You can't cherry pick what parts you want just because somebody else is shaming you for it.
You shouldn't.
Con, no, you're right. No, you're right.
You can't.
But my point is, you got to take the bad with the good. The same way they're taking they got to take the bad with the good. You know, we know what we can say to them. You know, they tell us forget all this. Okay, then don't teach us about. Don't name nothing else in Latin.
Right.
You know, don't tell us about. Don't do no more Roman architecture, no Greek architecture, or no building. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell us about none of your theologians, your not theologians, philosophers. Don't tell us about none of that shit.
That's thousands of years.
It's thousands of years ago.
Let it go.
Why are you celebrating the 4th of July? Your
Right.
independence from
Independence for who?
that was
What are
300
we
years
remembering
ago.
about the Alamo? A few of y'all came in here, did some wicked shit, and got killed for it. No, don't worry about that no more.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
They're not gonna keep that consistency when you hit them with that though, and that's why
Exactly.
they don't want to talk to us
Right.
because Hebrew Israelite talking points are undefeatable because we speak the truth, man. You can't get around what we got to say. You know what I'm saying? Were you done with them precepts?
Yeah, I'm gonna make one more point.
Come on.
And it said their tongue walking through the earth, and it said their mouth is set against the heavens. And this, I can't think of a quote, but we all know how proud these people speak sometimes. I mean, we just mentioned a few examples, but they have the mentality of who's gonna stop us.
Right.
You know, who's gonna tell me what to do? We've gotten this far, like we're big bad America, we're big bad Edomites, big bad Russians, right? Big bad Ukrainians, whoever, you know, whatever they want to say, you know, they got that mouth on them. They just speak, you know, they speak against God.
They're getting bold with it.
They're getting bold, you know, they're creating space forces and so like here, you know, they're trying to go through technology to fight the UAPs and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? We tell them, hey, we're the chosen people of God, and they tell us, no, you're just a nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're just a black. You're just, you're not good enough. Your people are just slaves. They're not more than that. They're destined to not be nothing more than that. We're cattle. They can do with us what they want, when they want. We don't have rights. And even in the Mishnah says things like that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let it there.
Just let me back in on the point. They're speaking lawfully concerning oppression. They don't regard the work that we put in, the things that we've done for this nation, and they just treat you like some shit on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing that forever. This is recorded, man. And that's how. This is another sign. You know, we the Israelites of the Bible. This Exodus chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, "And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spoke unto the people, saying, Thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye, get you straw where you can find it, yet not aught of you, yet not aught of your work shall be diminished."
Right.
So Pharaoh made it harder for the Israelites to do their job, and then told them, you still can't diminish the amount of work that you're doing, right? So I'm gonna skip down to verse 14. It says, "And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, Wherefore had you not fulfilled your task in making brick both yesterday and today, as heretofore?" It says, "Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried to Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants. And they say to us, Make brick. And behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people."
Yep.
Verse 17, "But he said, Ye are idle. Ye are idle, therefore ye say,
Bunch of lazy niggas.
Let us go and do sacrifice unto the Lord." Right, so Pharaoh made it harder for the Israelites to do what they were supposed to be doing. Told them, you can't diminish the work that you're doing, and then beat them when they couldn't fulfill the task. That's your fault.
Yeah.
But then he turned around and said, y'all niggas is lazy.
But ain't that the plight of us in America?
Hey, exactly. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
That's us. Like,
Yeah.
who else is that?
They're just trying to get help with doing the work. They ain't necessarily say we just gonna stop.
Yeah.
We quit.
Huh.
Like, we still trying to do the job. We just need some help.
Hey,
We
why
get
you
the
stop
resources
giving
from
us
you
straw?
anyways.
Right.
Well, that was like when we were tasked with picking cotton in slavery. And we had to earn enough to buy our own gloves. And one of the things that the white man don't like to admit is that he would put interest on the gloves, the overalls, all the tools. and that interest rate would go up or down depending on what he felt like. So you might be paying for a pair of gloves that you used to pick cotton that are 2 years old, and they're worn out, and you still owe the full balance and plus interest. But I got a precept. This is Revelations 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. So just as we're expressing how unequal these heathen are, how they put us in a position to fail and then blame us and punish us for it, our Messiah is known by his character. He's going to compensate us more than fairly when he arrives. The gift is with him. That's why this place is not your rest, Jake. You got it. You have to have that spirit of, I'm going to work until he comes back. Whether it's being on the corner, disseminating the word, or working for these crackers on these jobs, getting treated like trash. I'm not saying welcome them treating you like trash. You got to stand up for yourself, but you know the game. You got to play the game at work.
You know the battle.
That's right. What you got, man?
Just to your point, I got to something. One way they said it is, oh, well, Black Lives Matter. Well, why you mad at us killing y'all when y'all killing y'all? And that's exactly like that scripture you brought out. You mad because we're not helping you, but it's your own fault. It's your own fault we're killing you. I mean, they're not wrong. You know what I mean? Because if we were keeping the law, they wouldn't be able to do that. But it ain't righteous. I'll say that. This is the book. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 11, and it says, "Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall his end." Sirach here. In the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 11, it says, "Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end." Yeah, I'm gonna leave right there. But just to go back to the couple points that we made, a lot of our people get trapped up in. A lot of our people get trapped up in. I don't want to say the ways of this world, but what these heathens have and what they're doing. And again, we trying to lessen the blows, cushion the fall, and we think that somehow the way to cure cancer is become cancer, the fuel to the cancer, you know what I'm saying, or be a part of the cancer. And what it comes down to is we're envying what they have. Again, we've all drinking the Kool-Aid and think that, okay, these people are unstoppable. God is with them. They are God. And if I get with them, I can win too. But we don't know what their latter end is. Those of us who have not opened our eyes and woke up to the truth of who these people are. You know what I mean? I know that our people are still even dealing with Edomites in the truth with certain congregations, allowing them to be a part of the congregation, and even giving them office. So, yeah, you ever heard of that?
I know. I've heard of a couple organizations that do that, but I'm just saying that's not biblical.
Yeah, but that's them like, and the thought process is, what is it? Deuteronomy 28, where it says we're gonna be in want of all things from these people. In a large part, that's true. We gotta understand that. You're gonna get to a point where you have no choice but to deal with other people, but a lot of our people get comfortable. A lot of our people get comfortable with, getting it from them, that we are now entitled to feel entitled to handouts, rather than getting up, at least trying on our own until we get to that point. A lot of our people don't want to take back any type of power or accountability. We just want to sit back and let Master give us the crumbs off the Master's table.
Comfortable in Babylon.
Yeah. And to your point, we're resting.
It's like how it was in Egypt, man. They get out of Egypt, they're in the wilderness, they start murmuring, man, we had food and water, all the flesh pots in Egypt. What you bring us out here for? It's like, bro, you gotta endure to even be worthy of anything. You can't, what reward do you deserve if you're not going through affliction? You know what I'm saying? It's not meant to be an easy road. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Jake's gotta understand, man. It's gotta get worse before it can get better.
I got a precept for what y'all were talking about in terms of us being vilified for the violence among our own people, right? Because like they say, y'all kill each other, so why y'all so concerned about us killing y'all? This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. So these people have destroyed us in terms of our ideology, our behavior. Because you got to remember, we don't know anything other than what the slave master allowed us to experience. And most of that was work, turmoil, and just slavery. I mean, that's one of the things y'all hear me talk about when these crackers walk by, especially during the wintertime. It's Heartbreak Day. When New Year's would roll around, it was about a whole week period, starting around Christmas all the way through New Year's. And they would sell slaves to different plantations. And it was known as Heartbreak Day, where you would, a mother would be corralling her children and giving them one last embrace, knowing she'd never see him again. And if you were a father, you probably weren't even at that little, you know, the auction for slaves, because you were working, or you were dead, or you were being sold, and you were standing there in your drawers, if you had drawers on, because a lot of times they had the men standing naked, because the white women would buy male slaves, because they wanted the slaves, obviously, for that wood.
That's free.
Hey, it wasn't even just the women though, because if we're being honest, the men look at us too, and they're
Yeah.
infatuated the same with male phallus, with the black male phallus, as well as the women are.
Yeah,
Sometimes maybe even more.
come. But, you know, we only exhibit the traits of our trauma.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to tell our people. You have to leave behind the old man, because that old man has been worn out. It's like, that would be like walking into, you know, a Foot Locker, and you like, I don't want these brand new shoes that are on the shelf, but you got the dumpster in the back. I want that. I want the used shoes. They look at you like you're crazy. But yet we have people stand in front of us every Saturday, and they're fighting to remain an old man, an old pair of shoes that have been worn out. And we're trying to tell them, hey man, this is how you be made alive again. Right? And let's get back on John 10. What is it?
Luke 9.
Read it. Go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get it. This last one, though, we're going to go back.
Okay, to the point, the brother said, you know, our people don't want to work for nothing. You know, we want to just kind of stand there and just get whatever and just expect whatever to fall in our lap. Pray. Don't keep no commandments. This is scripture that made me think of. It's Luke 9:62. It says, Jesus said unto them, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is for the kingdom of God. Which, you know, when you think about it, put your hand to the plow, that's insinuating or implying that you got to do some work, and you're gonna have to keep working. You take your hand off and stop doing the work, you know, then you're not fit to come into the kingdom. So that means that you have to work, keep working, and don't stop. And through that, you know, through a fleshly sense or a carnal mind, one can look at that and say, you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. And that comes to you.
That's what the Bible says.
You don't deserve nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Ask you real quick. What's the scripture that say, don't hate or let work up like being a husband?
This is so rough.
That's like synonymous kind of like just don't hate like hard work.
Yeah.
Putting that plow, you know, he's telling us, you know, that kind of go with that. Just don't hate that type of work. You know, hate doing the work for the Lord.
I'll serve the Lord with
They
gladness.
not glorious, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's one to walk too.
But,
Who's ordained by God?
yeah, despise not hard work. Something like that. Or labor.
It's Sirach 7:15.
What's the one that says it is ordained by God?
I got you. It says Sirach 7:15. It says, "Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the most High hath ordained."
Right. So you're not supposed to hate it, and it was ordained. It's ordained for us. You got to put, you know, you have to do
Plow work.
plow work. You got to do the work of the Lord. You can't hate it. It was foretold for us to do this.
It was ordained to Adam. He said we're gonna have to work, you know, by the sweat of our brow.
Yep.
He was paraphrasing, so you know, be a man.
Say that loud for the camera, man.
Be a man.
Be a man. Be a man. What did David tell Solomon as he was dying?
Show thyself.
He said, keep the charge of the Lord thy God. Be strong and show thyself a man.
Yeah, I believe you say I go on my way up to the earth.
Yeah, he said, I go the way of our fathers. So in other words, son, is going to happen to me, it's going to happen to you, it's going to happen to everybody. So don't get caught up in me departing right here, because you're going to join me.
Right.
In my absence, take what I've taught you and be a man.
Right.
And that's one thing I'm going to say about Judah especially. Judah wants to be a little boy. Judah want to play 2K all day. He want to sit at home, eating Tostinos, smoking blunts, and getting hoes. Not understanding, man, those are, well, I mean, but those are the actions of a derelict, not even a boy. At least the boy has hobbies and things that he's trying to nurture. Yeah, a weakling. Like, he had to tell his son, hey, look, man, you got to be a man because you got brothers who will kill you.
Right.
You got to remember, what did Solomon want to do to Absalom? Murk his ass. And all of his other brothers who were vying for the throne. Solomon made it known, hey, man, if you try to take this throne from me, I'm going to kill your ass. And that's how it is when you're a king. You can't let intercessors come in and just boot you off the throne.
Right.
That's why when David was on his balcony crying out for Absalom, hey man, like it made David look weak. It made him look weak.
Right.
That's why even his counselors were like, hey man, what are you doing?
Joab said, man, thousands of men died for this.
Yeah.
He said, you can't be crying about it.
And you over here talking about Absalom, Absalom. And he was trying to kill you. And he fucked your wife on a rooftop in front of everybody.
In front of everybody.
He put you to an open shame. But as David grew older, his heart grew soft. And that happens when you grow old. That's why you're supposed to retire. The age of operation is only, what, till 50? A man of war? 60, about 50, 60, right? But you ain't supposed to be working till you 70, waxing feeble, where another man got to save you in the heat of battle. That's what happened to David.
Hey, Salakia, I remember growing up, I used to hear about our elder people retiring at 40. But then seeing like a lot of our people, they retire and come back out of retirement.
Because they move.
Nah, they gotta work.
Yeah, they gotta
right,
work.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
That's the main
You know,
thing.
go to Walmart, be a greeter, shit like that. And honestly, a lot of times when you go to Walmart and shit like that, and people playing, what is that shit?
Shuffleboard or something?
It's like when they do it like, it's almost, I can't think of the word, but it's almost like when they do them checkpoint stops. People doing the checkpoint.
Readers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. And really, here's the cold part. That shit is illegal as fuck. They're not supposed to be stopping you from leaving to check your shit and all that. That's why if you do certain things, they're not allowed to do it. You gotta give them your ticket. If you tell them it's in my bag, they're not getting it. Most of them not getting it. That's illegal.
And Salakia, with Solomon, he was seeking to kill Jeroboam. Remember when Jeroboam was going to inherit the 10 tribes?
Yeah.
And once Solomon found out, he was like, hey man, I want to kill this dude. Jeroboam had to flee. Yeah, Salakia, because I said it was Absalom. That was purely David. My bad. But let's get back on John 10. You were on verse 6, I believe, brother.
Yeah, verse 6.
Master the Prophet's glove, man.
Real.
Oh my God.
I was up there in St. Louis, man. It was 20 degrees, man. Feet, damn froze, man. Couldn't feel my feet.
I bet you came out looking like a South Park character, nigga, with the puffy jacket.
Just
Oh,
like
that
this.
shit.
I had this on.
Oh, damn, bro. I'm sorry, man. Get it when you got it, bro.
John 10, verse 6. This parable spake Jesus unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spoke unto them, or spake unto them. Then said Jesus unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and find pasture. The thief cometh not, for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
So we're going to stop right there and we're going to talk about what we read so far. No, you keep it, right? So when it talks about, Yahweh Shai being the door, what's a scripture that should immediately come to mind? grab it.
I'm roughly paraphrasing.
Because we're supposed to be coming in at the straight gate, right? And if you enter in anywhere else, you're considered a thief. So, you know, it's one of those things where Yahweh Shai made it abundantly clear he's the only way to the Father. No man cometh to the Father but by him. I knew someone was going to grab it.
Yeah, I'll just pull that up.
Go ahead and grab your precepts, y'all.
That's John 14:6 if anybody want it.
Go ahead and get it, brother.
The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 6. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him and have seen him.
Speak on it.
God, he's the door, man. You can't come to the Father but by Yahweh Shai. Right? He's the mediator between God and man. Right? The man, Jesus Christ. What's that? 1 Timothy 2 and 5, I think.
Paraphrase again?
The mediator between God and man. The man, Christ Jesus.
Kanye, because it's talking about the man being the head of the woman in the order, the rank and file, right?
1 Timothy, I think.
Khan. But while you grab that, this is Matthew 7 and 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go in thereat. So when he said that, hey man, everybody else who came before me, they're thieves. In other words, there were people saying they were the Hamashiach. They were the Christ. And you see, I've had people literally come up to this spot. Homeless niggas, crazy as fuck, talking about, I'm Jesus Christ. But then when you tell them, hey, Christ, go down to that police department and tell them to stop killing us. All of a sudden, well, we need to love everybody and come together. It's like, no, that's not according to this word. That's why you're supposed to be trying the spirits by the word. That's why Yahweh Shai came in the volume of the book. And he did everything that was written of him. That's why he constantly has to remind people, I'm not doing this for my own glory. I'm doing this so that all the prophecies that were written of me could be fulfilled. And you would know by the prophecies that I am the Son of God.
Hey, to that point, he even said on the cross, Father, glorify my name. Which means that, to your point, he didn't have no glory when he was walking there. Not like that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Which means that, you know, to the point where Christians say, you know, they like to move the goalposts and say certain things happened before he got on the cross, after, things like that. But even in that that quotation, him saying, you know, Father, glorify thy name, that always come, that tells you he didn't have no glory, which again, that breaks down the Trinity too. Think about it.
That 1 Timothy 2 and 5, it says, for there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. He's the door, man. You can't get to the Father. There's no mediator between you and the Father without Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. It's the only way.
There's something that I was thinking of. Hold on one second. Let me find it. Keep going, brother.
And it kind of added to the point that you was making about how he wasn't glorified on earth, right? This is John 7 and 7. It says, the world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of that the works thereof are evil. Right? He testified that the works of this world was evil, so you know they're going to hate him, right? And it's the same way today, right? If you're in Christ Jesus, you should be persecuted, because you should be that guy that Ezekiel 9 and 5, right? The mark, sighing and crying at the abominations of the world. Don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody trying to be rebuked.
Where you at right now?
That was John 7 and 7.
No, 7, I think it's something else in there I wanted to touch on. Is it, did we talk about, if they hated you first, no man is greater than his master? The world hates you, they hated you first.
Yeah, I think that is right here. I think
No
that's
servant is greater than his master. Yeah. I want to make a quick point while you, because I think it's in the same spot. But the craziest part is, because it says in that, the point I wanted to make in that verse is it says you should be hated by all nations. That means including our own, right? and we go out, like you said, and tell people, hey man, you're special. This is what you need to do to find heaven. You ain't gotta go broke. You know, paying for somebody's private jet. 1360.
Yeah.
You got it. Can you bring it up?
It's the book of John, chapter 13 and verse 6. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him.
Yeah. That's not the one I wanted, but that's to the point. That's to the point though. But my point is, you know, we should be hated by all nations. So if we are in Christ, we shall be hated by the other nations for finding our way back home, honestly. For us serving our God and our Lord and Savior, they hate that because they're not included and they can't be. They want to be all up in our business, all up in our Kool-Aid. And they also hate the fact that our people hate it, you know, because they love the heathen, they love being a slave, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, you know, I don't want to repeat myself, but we tell them, hey, there's a better way. The way that we're going is not conducive to anything that you actually want out of life for you or your family.
Right.
And they utterly reject it to go, literally, it's literal insanity. You know, they go do the same thing that we've always been doing. We're expecting different results out of
Be a
it.
nigga in America.
Right. Yeah.
Precept.
Black.
It's 2 Timothy 3 and 12. It says, yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. Right? So that's a telltale sign of if you're actually living godly in Christ Jesus. If you're being persecuted, if you're hated of all men for his sake. That's a telltale sign, right? But what did he say? He said, them that endure until the end shall be saved. You gotta endure that, man. You gotta endure that persecution. Because none of us, realistically, man, none of us is going through what Yahweh went through, man. You got a slave's death, a terrible death. You know what I'm saying? None of us, man. Would you do what Yahweh did?
I'm gonna be honest. I talk a good game, but I know I couldn't do it.
Man,
Even when the disciples were saying that he wasn't going to,
Peter.
he denied him.
he still did it anyway.
And he cursed when he denied Yahweh Shai. He said, God damn it, I don't know that nigga. Because they kept pressing him. Well, hold on, let me grab this real quick. This is John 16 and 1. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Don't we get basically put out of churches when we stand up just to ask a question?
Right.
Pastor, I got a question. I'm not even coming in the spirit of opposition.
Right.
I want clarity. You talking about I need to give tithe. Where in the Bible are you, lawfully collecting tithes at? Where can you show me how you're conducting your church is lawful? Where can you show that? All of a sudden, you're the enemy to the congregation.
Right. So like, to that point, man, I got kicked out. I'm not allowed to go to Fellowship of Christian Athletes at my school because I sit there and I have the conversation. I ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? They don't let me come around.
That's what that's for. Hell,
I'm a Christian athlete. What you mean I can't come around? Like,
get out.
Yeah, that's it. We kind of feel like your mission is
No,
aside from our mission. You can't.
You ain't welcome here.
What you mean?
But they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. So now you got people starting entire channels, and you look at all their videos debunking the Hebrew Israelites, black Hebrew Israelites, extremist group Hebrew Israelites get embarrassed. And it's like, it's all just videos of them saying that they're sunning us. Meanwhile, they show the video, it's clipped and chopped up.
That's their best point.
Yeah, the most points that they make is when they're not even in front of us.
Right. And
You
they're
see
not
what everybody's
edifying
doing
the
now too,
people.
right? They all these YouTubers, big time YouTubers, they had kicked off YouTube like Seiko or Snako, whatever the fuck his name is. Now he went up to one of the bros' camp, to ISUPK. Sneeko. Oh,
Yeah. He making
Sneeko
around.
went,
And he got cut the hell up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, by SBK, yeah, he did.
Him. Then you got No Fugazi.
He's
Then you
trash,
got
man.
him the other area. Nah, but I'm just saying, everybody jumped on the bandwagon to try and attack us, and because we're getting all the views.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. I got a precept for one. I'm a
Yeah, the ducks walking in the street. That's interesting. Go ahead.
I'm gonna land back off of you after you done.
Yeah.
I got two precepts to tie in what we're talking about, but the point I want to make real quick is just that it's crazy because that's the method. We're the method now. You know, your YouTube channel is done away with. What we have seen is Cooley, the No Fugazi podcast.
Clooney.
Yeah, Cooley. Who else?
You married to a white woman with kids from another white man?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Who else? It was somebody else. You said Sneeko.
Fugazi, Sneeko.
It's a couple people, right? Christian channels. What's happened is whatever they're preaching, whatever they're doing, is not it. It's not popping.
It's not working.
Granted, a lot of them get a lot of money from doing what they do. If they're sensational enough, you know, charismatic enough, if they pander enough, they will be successful. They do get money, but generally speaking, our people ain't really popping like that. And the way to revive their channels and their fame and things like that is get involved with the politics. Young Dunn, that's the other one I was. He came into the he came into the truth. He became an Israelite.
Really?
And he stopped being an Israelite.
I didn't know that.
I believe his wife was a Moabite. So he came into it. He left out of it, went back to Christianity. When he went back to Christianity, because I watched him before he even got into being an Israelite. And another one, what's his name? Gideon.
Gideon. Yeah.
He wears Yeezys.
He wears Yeezy.
But
He's heavily Christian,
Yeah.
right? But as we see a lot of these YouTubers, they'll fall off.
I think he's cool.
Now, he is. But I think a lot of our people are, are in a search of something better because they realize.
Oh, yeah, his uncle. Yeah.
Say you try to get them pop up. So
Okay. My Bible's starting to get all floppy.
So
man, damn, that's why I'm
my
about to
point
get
is,
my phone 'cause it's getting all wet.
you know, we got these Christians. We sit in New Orleans. We have Muslims hitting the highways and the byways. We saw Christians hitting the highways. We see that now where they're not just they'll march. They'll stand on street corners. They're doing everything that we do. And I got a scripture to speak on that as well. But they'll say that we're evil and all of that. But we're the method. You know, we're doing what we were commanded to do when we read and what we saw and what we learned. And the ways that everybody else has been doing has been highly successful. But for some reason, there's been an exodus or whatever have you, whatever's going on is not good enough to where now they got to rejig the system and follow after our way. That's where I'm going to land it at.
So, this is verse 3 of John 16. And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. So all these people who are coming against us, coming against the truth, is because they don't know the Father.
Right.
That's why the one thing that you can ask any of these Christians is, show me in the Old Testament what you're saying. Prove it by the Old Testament. Because that's where the words of the Most High God are. So if you're saying you know Christ and God, then surely you can show me the scriptural information and frameworking of your doctrine. And when they start beatboxing like they Biz Marquee,
Brother, we in the new covenant, brother.
oh man.
That old law, brother.
That's my uncle right here.
That's the way.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
You know what's crazy?
Norman Douglas.
One thing
Yeah, we'll hang out with y'all a bit, man. My wife
How you doing?
got out of the hospital, so
I think it's interesting that
how's it going?
one thing I've seen watching Christian debate.
We gonna change them. Okay.
Every Saturday.
And brother, one more time your name? I didn't.
Douglas.
Douglas.
Norman
Douglas. All right,
He's
brother.
my father's brother.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
brother
I guess
Douglas,
Do we look alike? You know?
in the face,
Yeah.
y'all do look alike. Yeah. But brother, so you believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you, right? Do you know the likeness of Christ in the Bible?
I went over it before. I think so.
Okay. So can somebody give me Revelations 1 and 14? We're going to start here because what we do is we speak to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians
Okay. Yeah.
about who the real Israelites are. I'm sure McAuliffe or Andre
Yeah.
has talked to you extensively about that,
Yeah.
right? But while you're here, we just want to give you our perspective
Okay.
so that you can weigh it in the balance and see if it's something that you want to pursue or if it's something that's just not your speed. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead,
And
whoever's
real
got it.
quick, he don't have too much time. His rib just had a baby,
Okay.
so he was But I just wanted to introduce them to y'all real quick. But you want to listen to these scriptures just real
Well, how much
quick?
time do you actually have?
Like a few minutes.
Yeah, I got a minute. Yeah.
Okay,
I can do that.
let's do Revelations 1:14.
Revelations 1, verse 14.
Look it out.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass, brother?
Gold.
It's that color, brother.
Okay, yeah.
That's
yeah.
brass.
Okay, yeah.
And he had woolly
Yeah,
hair
brass.
that was white in color. Who are the only people on the planet who have woolly hair? Hold on. Bam! You know what I'm saying? Like a sheep.
Yeah.
Keep going, brother.
As if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
So let me get this straight. You have a woolly-haired black man who's loud as hell. And he was hung on a cross. If they hung a black man on a cross here in America, what would you call that?
Lynching.
A lynching.
Yeah.
So they lynched our Messiah. He's our people, brother. So we're out here to let so-called black people know that we are of the lineage of Judah. Can somebody get me in Hebrews 7, he sprang out of the loins of Judah? Real quick.
Yeah, I got hung from a tree.
Well, hold it. Yeah, grab that.
I got that.
Because one of the things that we're trying to tell our people is who they go back to, right? We have a chart here, and it shows each respective group of people who they are. Because you have 12 tribes in the Israelites, right?
Right.
So the tribe of the Judites are a tribe of Judah. That's just one tribe. So we have 11 brothers. The southern kingdom look alike. That's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Levi are the Haitians. When you think of Haiti, what do you think of? Voodoo? Voodoo? But in the Bible, Levi was given spiritual tools called a unum and a thunum, right? Those are spiritual tools that they were given to serve God with. And the way they use them is they use them to divinate. So say like you wanted to find out somebody was lying or committing adultery. They could use those tools to inquire of God to get the truth. But they use those tools now to conduct voodoo. Why do you think they keep getting hit by earthquakes and all these different judgments? See, these are just ways that we can tell our people, this is how we know who you are, right? But, Brother Douglas, when you have more time, we will go in more in depth.
Okay.
But just to let you know, because you are a so-called Negro black man,
So I got granddad. We have like Indian ancestry
Oh yeah.
on the
Chest
grandfather.
side. Yeah.
So we like stuff from the Creek Indians. So look like we might be from the tribe of Reuben.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me head on, man. You gotta.
of course,
sit down.
man.
If you will.
Brother, be well,
I'll talk to you
man.
later.
Nice to meet you.
He live here?
Oh,
He
praise.
lives in San Antonio, the west side.
And this is to my camera. If
Yeah,
you
he
got
live like
5
some of
minutes,
my family members.
if you got 5 minutes to spend it learn about the Lord, spend it. If you got 2 minutes, 30 seconds, one scripture. That's why I be telling people, they be like, man, I'm in a rush. Okay, well, you got 10 seconds. Because if you saw a $10 bill blowing in the wind, you would chase that shit like it was going out of style.
Right?
But you want to tell me you have no time whatsoever? That's a lie.
But then you ask them, do you believe in God? Do you love God? They're going to say yes.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah. Are you asking, what are you willing to do for God? Well, anything. Are you willing to listen to me for 5 minutes? No. All right, then. You know what I'm saying? But if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. And most of our people, they've never even lifted their head up in the crib. You got to understand the spiritual lack of strength that you're dealing with many of our people. That's why, like, have you ever watched a woman really tending to a baby?
What's behind you?
One of the things that women will try to do is they'll try to get the baby to do things like lift their head up, tummy time, where the baby turns over, and is on their stomach. Basically, getting them to build the basic movement strength so that they can move around and become independent. Most of our people have never had tummy time, biblically speaking. They've never had to lift their head up and look around. They've been looking up at the damn little things spinning around, and that's their pastor talking about, give me the money, and big booty women at the church.
Nigga, you need some tummy time.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we might have to start saying that to people. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you don't even need cereal. You need straight up milk in the bottle.
Right. Or in other words, they've been in the dark room for so long they don't want to turn on no light.
Come on.
What's that? That's a Greek. Is it Plato? Like the story of. We find that, but it's like the story about how the people was in the cave their whole life, and when they came out and they seen the light, they're like, hell no, man, I ain't playing with that shit. Go back in the cave. That shit hurt my eyes.
That's through the spirit, because it would be the Edomites to have a story like that.
Tom.
You know what I mean?
They
How they
are
had-
cave dwelling.
That's the spirit, man.
If they didn't have some of this modern technology and some of the amenities and resources they have, their ass would definitely be hiding somewhere in a cave. I mean, hell, they still do it.
They still ain't trying to come outside.
That's the spirit. So when we were at that, when we were at the B&B, there was a little girl playing in the backyard, and she got called inside by her father, and he said, "You gonna burn up in the sun." She had only been out there for like 30 seconds. I was out there looking at the ducks. She ran out there trying to have fun like a little kid. He said, "No, come back over. You gonna get burnt up."
Wasn't even that much sun.
Yeah, and it was like a cloudy day. I was like, "Damn!" So you trying to turn the whole earth into a cave so that a small minority of people can be satisfied with the earth
But they from Northeast Africa though.
somehow.
Hey, but it's funny because
Somebody.
before I was in the truth, I went fishing with a white guy from work. That boy came back so damn fucked up.
Look like Mr. Krabs.
He was so red, and it was like, "Hey, you went fishing with so and so?" Yeah. God, why you do that man like that? I said, "What you mean?" I didn't see that. Oh man, he was
Destroyed this nigga, huh?
he got like hairy back and all that to go up to his neck. So he's like, "Yeah, I got my skin's peeling." So he's
You got time
like,
to talk about the Bible, brother? A couple minutes. All right, man. Just know you're a king walking the earth, man.
"That's right."
If you Mexican, you from the tribe of Issachar, man. But see, our people, man, they love the ways of this world. Because if I say, man, you a strong Mexican king, you be like, yeah, man. But the moment you tell them you're an Israelite, yeah, I don't want that. But let them say, hey, man, we giving $100 million to all Israelites for reparations.
They lining up.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I always knew I was Israelite. Yep, I'm proud too.
They pulling up with fringes and all too. Where you get them from?
Oh, you
Remember me? I came and talked to you.
Yeah, nope. Stand out by me. That holier than thou spirit.
Right? Shit.
You know? But that's what Yahweh Shai talked about in Matthew 23. How the Pharisees and the Sadducees had that attitude of I'm holier than you.
Right.
But that was only because of the station that they got to occupy. You take away that station, all of a sudden, well, keeping the law ain't important. Holding our traditions ain't important. It was all about the station.
Well, yeah, it don't matter no more. We're all one.
Yeah.
We're all the same. We're all human. I heard a Christian say that in a debate. It's crazy. But God have a
Like
chosen
an ape.
people. Yes.
Don't even
Yeah,
walk
but
like
we're all
a lady.
human, so it doesn't matter.
Brother, I always cut that with when they say we all bleed red. I was like, pigs bleed red too? Are you a pig? All of a sudden, but that's different. Is it though?
Hell, one's bleed red.
Yeah, they do.
And Salakia.
Very weird.
All you really gotta do to cut that is what happened when the whole world was of one tongue?
I just make that shit out.
I told my mother that.
What the hell you talking about? Oh, America is the melting pot.
No, I told my mother that, bro. She was like, she's like, that's of the devil. He came to kill, steal, destroy, and divide, and do. I said, well, what did God do when everybody came to the Tower of Babel? Did he split them up?
Who killed the Egyptians?
He flooded the whole world.
He killed all their babies.
Yeah, and it made a holiday.
It's a holiday. That's the highest holy day.
Yeah.
And that pot is melting, so it's not gonna be no pot no more.
For real. Most I'm about to kick you. Shatter that bitch.
It's about to shatter. That shit about to bust.
Melting pot is about to boil over. I got a couple precepts. Can I bring those out?
Yeah. Well, it's about John 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we going back to that. I was about to say, go ahead and get it.
Oh, it's just like, hold on, wait.
Can you mention which verses you covering though?
What,
'Cause it's been a second.
What, I forgot. What was John 10? That was what? The sheep right in the door?
Yeah, I'll read it again. It's cool.
You know what? I'll drop mine.
I got it. I need
It's
something to
one
do,
of
man.
those
I'm cold, bro. Like, I need something to do.
I'll drop mine.
You got
10
it?
and 10.
Yeah, go ahead and get it.
John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. That was 11. You're talking about the door, right?
Yeah, go back to 6.
It's, was that 5?
6 to 8, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What is my jacket, man?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, can I
it's
bring
verse
these out
7.
then?
It says,
You found it?
yeah, it's on verse 7. It says, then said Jesus unto them again, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Unless you wanted more than I can give you.
No, it's cool. Because I grabbed these because we was talking about like being in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Him being a door and whatnot. I mentioned the verse, brother brought it out. I don't know if y'all care to hear it. I found the one I was looking for.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 24.
It ain't come on.
Right here.
My hair is wet.
Verse 9, it says, Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended and betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And to the brother's point, he said, because he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Just going back to Christ being the door. If you in Christ, you know what I mean? You on your path to that straight gate, that narrow path, that door, then that means all nations shall hate you. Your people shall hate you, and a lot of us right now can attest to that, especially during the days that times around the seasons around holidays and all that. A lot of our people get mad, upset because we don't want to join in to the wickedness, right? They say that, they worry about us because we might be in a cold, different things like that. The other nations hate us too. When we was in New Orleans, I think you were close by me, were you, at first?
What
we
was
were
after
just-
we read and stuff?
When we were standing there, just being quiet, like we didn't have to do nothing to say nothing. But everybody on the side I'm on, they coming up to all of us talking crazy,
Yep.
trying to fight, trying to start stuff.
Got
A
it.
woman got
Bottle.
close up on me, like kind of groped me low key,
Same here.
like that. Like, I probably could have hit her with some sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? But all these people, they drunk. Some of them ain't, some of them is. I told my real when I got home, it was like 9 people off the top of my head that wanted some smoke. Men and women. At the very least. And we didn't do nothing. We just stood there and was silent. Or we told them, hey, go talk to the guy at the front. Hey, what are y'all doing? What y'all got going on? Y'all reading the Bible? Hey, go talk to the guy at the front.
That pisses them off more than anything.
They didn't
else.
want to talk. We didn't want to talk to them. We didn't want to say nothing to them, deal with them, nothing. And because we give them that one directive, and honestly, it was a fishing expedition to stir some. What it said, the source of the word, and the devil comes immediately.
Yep. Mark 4:14.
So, our brothers in the front preaching. Y'all was up there reading and preaching, and especially while you was reading. I saw the video came out. The first guy, like I remember we talked. You said you preaching and you just hear a bunch of people clapping in the background. You got to turn and look
Demon, boy.
because a lot of people don't understand that we just standing there. And one of our brothers had his face covered, so he wasn't talking. Had his face covered, and the Edomite was trying to sow derision. He just looking and finding people to pick on and mess with, start problems with. He called the police. And all glory to the Most High because he thought he was tough. He thought he was really badass. And the police showed up, and I started smiling when I seen it. The police showed up, Edomite, looking as hell, he's smoking a cigarette while he on the job. I don't understand.
Huh?
Yes.
Hey man,
Like no bullshit. Like it was like
Orleans.
he looked like something
not
off
dealing
of some
with
type of rent-a-cop movie where they like just bogus as hell. But he walks up, he's like this. He didn't roll up like super tough, like
What's going on
he
here?
walked up like, man, I don't even want to be here, man. Like,
He had a
Super
donut
Bowl,
and some coffee.
you know what I'm saying? He's smoking,
I was on break.
and you know what I'm saying? He's like this, and the Edomite caught him. He's crying, and the whole time he's screaming, like, people stop touching me, and all this other, like, he was doing a lot of weird stuff that Edomites do, where they'll put their hands on you and cry wolf,
Play the victim.
play the victim. Police do it too, but that's going on, and Salaki, the police watches him as he walks up, tries to get through us. I had to push him back.
I saw the
Police-
video.
Right.
Yeah.
And the police got on him. And then the police walked off, turned back around. He tried to come again. And then he incited the crowd. And my ultimate point is, they hate us. We're doing the work of the Lord, minding our business, and for some reason, they have a reason. One guy told me, he said, why he was saying a lot, but one thing he did say that really struck me was, he said, because we're in front of a Catholic church, he goes and says, hey man, why aren't y'all in the church? Hey, I go inside, I'm good. Once I go in there, I'm good.
Make sure he don't come.
That's what he said. You know what I mean? But this same guy was trying to start fights with us at points in times, trying to be friends with us at points in times. And the weird part about it is that he has that mindset that he can do whatever he can. Him and his buddies, they can do whatever they want. All they got to do is walk inside the church and then they're good. They don't have to worry about nothing. And again, back to the house shop being the door. There's work we got to do. And the one indicator that we are in Christ, again, is just us being hated by all nations. Us being delivered up. And
I got something for you when you're done.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Right. Like y'all are saying, you got to suffer to get the kingdom.
Put your hand to the plow, don't take it off.
So if you ain't willing to go through all these trials, you ain't going to receive the kingdom. And this is to my camera, to you niggas who keep saying it's cold, it's raining, it's uncomfortable being outside. Get used to it, nigga. Because if you're trying to get the kingdom, you better be out here. Get used to it. You're supposed to be suffering to get this kingdom, man.
I got something.
One more though.
Yes, sir.
And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. That's your portion, Jake, to suffer and work for your reward.
Revelation 2.
You gotta earn it, man.
Faith alone.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, the faith alone dummies, they don't even know what faith really is, because James told you faith without works is dead.
Thank you. Faith is in the law.
Yeah,
It's a verb. It's an action.
And Paul told you through faith we establish the law.
There you go. Boom.
So I don't understand where all these so-called Paulites are saying that faith is the only thing you gotta have. And then you ask them, okay, you have faith in Christ. What do you know about him? And you find out they know next to nothing about Yahushua. That's why I'm like, yo, you want the reward? It's almost like somebody who skips the line. And they just want to get up to the front and not even have to pay when they get there.
Freeloader.
A freeloader. What you got, brother?
Just real quick, so this brother brings free stuff out. Just to that point, we gotta endure. We gotta go through things. Whether we like it or not, we gotta do the will of the Lord. A lot of people don't like it. They don't understand it. They don't know nothing about it. They're not sincere and wanting to know. The point I want to bring out, just to a lot of the things that we already spoke about, just concerning what we're doing, what we're trying to do, and what we gotta suffer through. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Brothers brought out analogies about people loving the dark and hating the light, and good things being called evil. But I'm gonna land my plane. Go ahead, bro.
And this goes with what you were saying, King. So if we call ourselves servants of the Most High, we're trying to follow Christ, we got to go through stuff. So
Hold on.
we go to Sirach.
Y'all got time for the Bible today? A couple minutes? Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
That's just the know something. She knows something.
But go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
What's
walking
going
in
on,
this
brother?
truth.
Oh, you want to hear? Okay, well, actually, let's talk to this brother. So, brother, we're out here to let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that we are the people in the Bible. When you read the Bible and you read about people like Moses, Jesus Christ, they go back to the tribes of Israel.
Yeah.
Well, who are those people today?
The tribes of Israel.
Yeah, who are they to them? Well, 2 is for Judah. That's one tribe. What about the other 11? So I have a question for y'all. You Mexican,
praises.
Issachar? All praises, man. Issachar and the
So where do white people go?
we gonna tell you. Can somebody give me Obadiah? Somebody give me Obadiah 1 and 10 and then 1 and 18. I'm gonna tell you. But I have a question. Why are you asking about the white man? What about the Chinese and Japanese men?
Because I don't see them too much. I do see white people everywhere. I mean, white people are the only people out here where the white man flashes and we can walk. You know what I'm saying? That white
So
man,
they're running things.
white man has a lot of shit. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Well, let me show you where they're gonna go. Go ahead and read it. Obadiah 1 and 10 first.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Oh. So what does it mean to be cut off forever?
No eternity. No
So-
eternity with God.
So they're gonna be wiped out, right? Right. Keep going.
Verse 11.
No. Go to 18. Go to 18 after that.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame.
Now I have a question. Who is the house of Jacob and the house of Joseph? The house of Jacob is going to be in reference to the southern kingdom, and the house of Joseph is in reference to the northern kingdom.
Oh yeah, because it's split up.
It's split up. That's right.
Right.
So we are one family, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, and we comprise those 12 tribes. Keep going, brother.
And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it.
So the Most High God is going to use the hand of us, his people, to get rid of the so-called white man. Now, does that make you happy? There you go. That's the spirit. Oh, praises.
I still does. I pretty much wipe out fucking everybody else. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Off their time.
Now I have a question for y'all. This is Texas, right? Ain't this supposed to be Mexico?
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you shouldn't even speak Spanish, brother.
I do speak Spanish,
But I mean, you shouldn't though, because guess what? The Spanish were the white people who came from Spain and conquered you. Y'all were the Aztecs who spoke Nahua. That was a broken dialect of Hebrew. That's why when they came over here, they brought men like Luis de Torres, a black Moor who spoke basically Hebrew.
Yeah.
And that's how they spoke with the brothers who are already over here. But the reason why I'm asking you this question is because if the white man is gone, then who are you after that?
No. Peace.
Well, it would
right.
be peace. It'd be peaceful. But who are you as a person?
Me? I'm Carlos.
You would return to being an Israelite. Because this is your native heritage. This is who you are.
I used to be, my motherland.
Well, it's by your father, right? Motherland. Well, but this ain't your land either. You know what I'm saying? Because our land is back in Israel. See, if you read 2nd Ezra chapter 13, starting at verse 40, it talks about the northern kingdom coming over here, where never mankind dwelt. Y'all were the first people to live here. That's why y'all are called the natives, although you're not from this land, right? And that's also why when we were ruling in Europe, we were already trading with y'all over here.
Yeah.
See, we've always been brothers and sisters. But the thing is, the white man called you Mexican. He called me black. He called him a Seminole Indian. Seminole means runaway. What does black even mean? Black means ugly, defiled, ignorant, everything bad. So we've been called these names that step away from the names that God gave us. Somebody give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6 real quick. Because I know it's cold. I don't want to hold y'all too long. But y'all need to know, y'all the kings around here, man. And if y'all want to get that crown back and return to authority, you got to start keeping God's laws. It's the only way back. Get it when you got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
Bring it up.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
I have a question. When you watch boxing, you want to see two white boys fight, or do you want to see a black or Hispanic go to war with each other? You want to see a black or Hispanic go to war with each other? Canelo Alvarez, Devontae, what's his name? Tank
Davis.
Yeah, Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez. You got, the classics like Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
But those were warriors from our people. You don't want to see Jake Paul. He's making a mockery of boxing right now, ain't he?
Yeah.
Wait, that fight between him and Tyson, wasn't it scripted?
Yeah, he paid him.
Obviously so, right? Because Mike is a 60-year-old man. He can still crush that white boy. Easy. But what did he just read? We're above all people. That's why when you work the job, I know you Mexican, you can work a 60-hour work week and it don't even faze you. Because Issachar in the Hebrew means he who is hired. That's why you can do that. And then they party for another 8 hours. That's why we ain't partying with y'all. Because y'all be drinking tequila, we be fucked up at work. Y'all be working hard, man. But the Bible says Issachar saw that rest was good.
Yeah.
When y'all got more time, we're here every Saturday from about 2 p.m. all the way to about 5. Come see us, brothers. Of course, man. Of course. Of course, bro. You king, man. Remember that. You good?
Yeah.
Before y'all go, the name of God is not God. That's a title. His name is Yahweh. Jesus Christ's name is not Jesus Christ. It is Yahushai. It's on that card that he gave you, all right? All praises, all praises. Right? And this is to the camera. It's like we keep saying, we don't need 30 minutes. We could work with 5. We could work with 2. We could work 1 scripture just to plant 1 seed. God can do the rest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We sow the seed. Another brother might water it, but God yields the increase.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
And you see, you got brothers walking around, they're waiting for this white devil to get thrown out of power. They just don't see the way forward.
Can I bring a precept for that?
Yeah, go ahead and get it, man.
This is
Oh, you
the
feel
book of
cool.
Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance. Hold on, real quick, before I read it. Because I've had this discussion. People say, oh, well, you got to wait on the Lord. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. Yes, it does. But he also rules in the kingdom of men. And this is one of the verses I brought up. But this goes right to the point. Because people might say, oh, well, Obadiah doesn't mean what it means. It's, allegory and all that. But this is Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14. It says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God, or Yahweh.
All praise.
Just land that plane. We're going to be the ones doing it. And no more cold spirit. We're going to do it according to, how the Most High feels.
Yeah. So I was trying to get something precept that which you said earlier about how we have to endure, and it's true. And we calling ourselves followers of Christ. We shouldn't be expecting to just be comfortable and not put no work in. Gold is trying to fire, stuff like that. Even Job, he was a righteous man, perfect. He went through a lot. He went through a type of torture. Some people probably wouldn't be able to handle that and just quit. Quit serving the Most High. Yeah.
Some of the people we mentioned earlier actually did stop. Right. They had a little bit of adversity and they gave it up. And that was a poem making by Young Don. He can't Christian, Hebrew Israelite, Christian. Now he don't have no faith at all. Right. He believed, he said the Bible is story.
Right. And his proof for that was, he was talking about, Jesus said, if you have faith, you'll do more miracles than him.
Right.
Where are the miracles? Where are the miracles?
Right.
The miracle is that we still alive, man.
Right. Well,
all that time.
it was
Yeah,
specific miracles that he was
Yeah.
talking about, but he don't understand the context. Howard Shah was talking to his disciples.
Right.
He wasn't talking to everybody in the world. So, again, he's still a Christian, low-key. I mean, you're an atheist, you're a Christian. If you're anything down there, if you're not Buddhist, Middle Eastern Muslim, nah, I can't even say that. If you're not Buddhist, Hindu, or one of these ancient religions that we don't necessarily hear about, you're a Christian, basically.
Right.
And Christians are atheists. They're one and the same.
Yeah, what you got, man?
Yeah. So it's the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1.
Bring it up.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So, Yahweh Shah is a great example of that. He served the Most High, and he was tempted by the devil. With pretty much riches of the earth, kingdom with it, pretty much whatever he wanted. But he endured that temptation, while he was on the mountain. He was tempted with eating to stop his fast. And then, he even was in a state where, he was, he asked the Father, Yahweh, to
Take the cup from
take
his
the cup
lips.
from him.
Yeah.
So he tried to get some mercy. He endured. He still did what he was supposed to do. So even with that, that's an example of someone. He would rather not be put in that uncomfortable situation, but you got to do what you got to do. And back to what us, we know what's going to happen. A lot of us would rather not be poor or like in a lower state, but it is what it is. We got to keep going, keep pushing. But verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. And verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
That's right.
So Yahweh Shai,
That's right.
through all his enduring, he stayed serving the Most High, and he was increasing the end. He's the most famous man on earth, and he's sitting at the right hand of the Father.
That's right.
And then back to Job, he endured a lot, and he was increased in the end with more children, more money, more wealth, and also
And a better wife.
better wife. and then his people, they also donated to him in the process too. Remember that? His people, gave him, what he needed. They gave him money and stuff like that. And then he also, what was it in Proverbs where he brought out reproof instruction in the way of life. So like Job, in that instance, he was also increased mentally. He learned something from all of that. So even somebody that's considered perfect, and in Job chapter 1, God said Job was perfect. He still is learning and growing too. So we go back to Sirach chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So when you try it in the fire, it's a process. You got to sit there. You can't just, as soon as you put it in there, it's too hot. Take it right back out. You got to sit there. Yahweh Shai, he went through a lot. He had to endure, and he also knew what was going to happen. So just knowing that has to be some type of torture too. But he still went through it. And then verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
That's right.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall.
That's right. Fall off.
So yeah, earlier we was talking about how we're being persecuted, at being in the truth. That come along with it. That's part of enduring. People gonna want to hurt you. They're gonna take away things from you. They lose your job for trying to keep the laws. All that's just signs that the Most High is dealing with you and you're doing the right thing. We shouldn't be expected to be comfortable. And Yahweh Shai, back to him, he could have had, wealth, riches, and all of that. So why should we be pursuing that? If he didn't, he was just focused on trying to wake up the lost sheep. And with us, we got to endure until the end. We got to store up our riches in heaven.
Right.
So we can be,
And shall be saved.
right. All right, that's it.
I wanted to talk on something that you were speaking about, the hardship that Yahweh Shai went through. One of the things that we very seldom talk about is how Yahweh Shai sought counsel from not just men around him. He sought spiritual counsel from Elijah and Moses. Remember when they had the vision up on the mountain?
Yeah.
When the apostles were with him, and they were terrified. And when they fell on their faces, Yahweh Shai had to go, hey man, it's all right. And then they were gone. But he was talking about how he was going to die. They were giving him counsel. That's why before, he was taken by Judas and, the Romans, he had that moment of sorrow where he prayed to the Most High God for another way. Because I can only imagine you're living your whole life walking predetermined steps, knowing it ends gruesomely. And you have to bear that weight in the end alone. Job was a man with wise counsel all around him, but God made that counsel come to naught. This is Proverbs 24 and verse 5. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. So, when you're talking about real wisdom being discussed, you keep counsel with men who are wise. But the Most High God can put things in your path where he makes even wise counsel come to nothing.
Right.
And that's where you have to consult with the only counselor capable of accompanying you at that point, and that is the Most High. You're supposed to be making supplication unto God for wisdom and direction. And that's something that we often overlook. Because when we're in a moment of crisis, it's hard to go, God, what do I do? It's harder than you think.
Right.
Because a lot of times you get caught up in the moment of, okay, I need to do this, I need to move here, I need to think this, I need to prepare to hurt. But sometimes you just have to go, God, please be with me. Be with me. Y'all saw that video of me when the cops were coming after the fight with them 3 Edomites? And I was staring at all them flashing lights, and I just said, man, God be with me, man. Yeah, it's on there. It's on that, what's it called, Fight Night? Yeah, that's what I titled. It's private, though. I'll add you to it. But, I rewatched it, and when I saw it, I realized, I was like, man, so God put it in my spirit to remember to call out to him. And because of that, I ended up going home. Them cops, they came up like this. They were like, yo, get on the ground. I had to get on the ground, put my hands behind my head, all that shit. And while I'm in handcuffs, they like, hey, where's the video at? I'm like, it's right there. Can I see it? I'll say, hell yeah, you can see it. Because I know if you watch the video, you're going to see they hit me first, and I was justified. And that's exactly what happened. And guess what? My cop was Issachar. Most High God put every piece in place. But there was one thing that activated. God help me.
Right.
If you don't cry out to God for help, God like, you don't need me then. You got it.
Right.
You get it. You got it. Big dick player. Go ahead and get it.
Tag me when you need me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to pretend like you're bigger than God, God's going to put you to the test. All right. So you saying you can squat this 500 with no help? All right, cool. Go ahead and get it.
I don't know about
Blow
you,
the
but you
leaves
ever
out.
noticed that being in the truth now, when you do deal with police and it's our people, you got one that's with you and one that's against you.
Yep. Every time.
Every time.
Every
remember,
time.
Remember
Crazy
last
how that
week?
works.
You know what I'm saying? And then and then like same thing in Chicago. We had dealt with the cops and stuff. 2 brothers came up. One coon like a motherfucker, boy. The other dude, he said, "Hey man, I'm with you guys. I understand. I just need to see." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, the fuck, this dude ready to arrest everybody. He like, that. I'm like,
Yeah, low key dap up.
right, yeah. I'm like, and I just showed her the video of what happened with the lady and stuff. And then he was just like, "Hey, you guys."
There's a sheriff that walks by. He actually tucks his fringes in. It's a black sheriff. He walks by every so often. I catch him going to work, and he says, "Yeah, man, I'm an Israelite. I'm from tribe of Judah." He got his fringes on. He tuck them in.
I got a preacher. That's cold.
Yeah,
Because
it is cold.
they tell you what you doing with your job.
Come.
My job, I tore like 3, 4, almost 5 pairs, I think, with the machines and stuff like that and working. So, but I'll wear them out. I have no problem with this. But I
Probably like 10, 15 minutes.
have a precept for what you were saying.
Go ahead and get it.
It's a little bit long, but I'm gonna, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 3. I'm gonna start from the top.
Look it up.
Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God, Salah. But thou, O Lord, art our shield for me, my glory and my lifter, and the lifter of mine head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill, Selah. Just stopping right there real quick. Brother said, Lord be with me. Verse 5. I laid me down and slept. I awake, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me. O my God, for thou hast smitten all of my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people, Salah. Brother.
You missing like 10
I'm missing like 10 chapters. Like I was like, man, where the fuck is Psalms at? Half my book gone, man. I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, this Bible is through, man.
It went from Psalm 10 to Psalm 21. Next page.
Oh, what you were saying, boy?
Nah, just to the brother's point, you enduring trouble, and you part of your faith is knowing, when we do a study on faith, right? Faith is trust in the Lord, which means that, in this psalm, you got to be ready to have a city against you, tens of thousands of people. Matter of fact, it's another script I can bring out for that, right? But, sometimes you got to sit back and say, Lord, help me. He don't want to put you in that position. And sometimes it might be just so, you could be a martyr for his will, or so he can work through you, his glory. I forgot my point. But, it all comes down to the Lord, right? And that faith that you got to have sometimes is just trusting that no matter the circumstances, the Lord is on your side. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. I got another piece up for it, though.
I got a point to make real quick on all this, because it's talk about suffrage pretty much. Is with our people in and out of truth, what we got to realize is, you say you believe in Christ and everything, you Christ-like, right? And you should be able to get that ass whooping like Christ got.
Come on.
Stop bitch moaning and complaining every time something happens to you. You deserve it.
Right.
One way or another, you deserve it.
Right.
Christ got his ass whooped, like tortured.
He ain't deserve it.
And he didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Without sin.
In that life.
Right, in that life, exactly. That's true.
About to say, that life.
That's true. So my thing is like this. We want to yell out for God when we need help. We need to yell out for him when he whooping our ass and when he blessing us. You know what I'm saying? We only yell out, oh, thank you for giving me this money, getting me this new car. But when he take that car from you, motherfucker, you get mad. Nah, don't get mad. Be like, well, what did I do wrong?
Right.
This is a lesson.
Reflect.
My thing is, if you're able to live, you're able to learn. So if God spared your life and you still breathing, he's trying to teach you something.
Tom,
It's up to you to figure it out.
I just want to say this. I'm gonna give it right to you. One of the things that I always tell brothers who stop, God is trying to teach you a lesson. If you're on the street, car got repoed, got kicked out your house, kicked out your apartment, whatever, there's a lesson being taught. And the more you don't get the lesson, the harder the penalties get. That's why you got to reflect. Why is this happening?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we go through hardship and we just go, well, I'll just get through it. And we're men. We put our head down and we just go forward. But God is like, no, you're not an ox. Learn. Because if you don't learn, I got to bring you back here and I got to teach you again. And next time, I'm going to make it harder for you to learn.
The Most
You
High-
might not get out of the lesson.
The same thing, Most High is penalty of law. Because guess what? This your first offense, so I'll slap you on the wrist.
Yep.
This your second offense, I'm giving you a higher penalty. Same thing over and over. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, eventually,
I didn't even think about it like that, but yeah, that's a good point.
Come on.
Yeah,
What you
yeah.
got, bro?
I was going to go to Psalms chapter 144, verse 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Verse 2, my goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer.
He's saying the same thing. No,
My hands to war, still.
you reading what I'm about to read. Just somewhere else. That's the spirit, man.
Oh, okay.
All praise.
Okay, Slakia. My bad. I was like, well, I'm sure not.
Yeah, Psalms 18.
My shield in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me. Now, it's Psalm of David. So, he's talking about his people and, helping him rule and corral them. But it said, blessed be the Lord that teaches his hands to fight. That's weird. Anyway, it's like teaches his hands to war and his fingers to fight. Again, if you have a situation, you see that, right?
Yeah, that little thing sitting around.
Oh, no, that's a balloon. I'm looking at the dude in the truck just sitting there.
Oh yeah, you talking about a great truck, yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting there watching. But, no matter the circumstances, no matter what's, going against you, sometimes you just got to say, God be with me. And it's telling you here, it's teaching your hands to fight and your fingers or your hands to war and fingers to fight. He's your fortress, your salvation, your rock. He's everything. He's everything and the only thing you need. I'm gonna land it right there. Just
So, anybody got anything they want to end on? We about to end.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and get yours first.
So
then you.
earlier we was kind of more focused on, Yahweh Shai and like, who he is. I wanted to read, John 13. Try to be quick. So,
Take as much time as you need, brother.
verse 1. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. Verse 2. And supper ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from God and went to God, he riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel and girded himself. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. So, a lot of things is about to transpire. He's real quick. I'm pretty much about to get into how the type of spirit he had, and how disciples and those that are following him, how they should be thinking too. Verse 6. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter saith unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? So he's asking, why are you washing my feet? Jesus answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. I think earlier you were saying some things we won't understand until later on. Verse 8, Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Jesus answered him.
Sound like a gunshot.
Yeah, it's
Keep
not.
on, keep talking.
Jesus answered him, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. So, out of ignorance, he said, don't wash my feet. But then Yahweh Shai said, if I don't do this, thou hast no part with me. So quickly, he changed his mindset and accepted what Yahweh Shai was going to do, and just let him do it. Verse 10, Jesus said unto him, he that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit, and ye are clean, but not all. So there's still some things he needed to work on. Verse 11, for he knew who should betray him, therefore said he, ye are not all clean. So he's talking about Judas. Verse 12, so after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and washed and was set down again, he said unto them, know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me master and Lord, and ye say, well, for so I am. If then your Lord and master have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. So he's pretty much operating like as a servant when he washes their feet. So he's being that example. So this is just one example of him trying to show us how to be servants, how to follow him, and he's willing to step down to do it. Normally the master, his feet is getting washed. Verse 15. For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you.
Right.
So, you know, he says, if you love me, you keep my commandments. He's not going to teach you to do something he doesn't do himself, and he only does the will of the Father. So, just kind of circle back around about to, you know, how, you know, he's the light, and the light is synonymous to the commandments, the laws. You know, everybody knows he's without sin. So, just, you know, if pretty much in every aspect, we need to be trying to be like him. He's willing to be a servant. We need to be servants too. We need, we gotta be shepherds. We gotta, you know, part of being a shepherd, you gotta do some things that's dirty, that's uncomfortable when you're trying to take care of the sheep.
You gotta serve your brother.
Right. You gotta learn the sheep's different characteristics, because some sheep operate differently. You gotta feed them a certain type of way. Some of them, they might not want to accept it out, you know, whatever you're trying to do for
Have you ever talked to a shepherd before?
No.
A shepherd who tends to a flock, they will tell you they can identify every sheep.
Right. Yeah. I heard about
And they can have a flock of like 30, 50 sheep.
They know them by name.
And they know them by name and behavior. And you're thinking that all of them are the same. And they're like, nope, that's the one who's grumpy in the morning. That's the one who's sluggish when they're coming home, back to the pen. This is the one who likes to headbutt me to get my attention if I neglect them. All those different things make them individuals. But keep going, brother.
Right. So that's just what he's describing. That definitely looks like somebody that actually loves their sheep or loves their people. And Yahushua, that's who he came for. And then this reminds me of how, like, the Father, he knows every hair on our head.
That's right.
Like, he's very attentive. So let me get to the point. And then also with the commandments, like, you love your neighbor as yourself. He's doing that. You know. Yeah. So verse 16, verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. So, yeah, we that's part of the you know, part that helps us to endure is just knowing this, and you know, it helps us keep staying in good spirits, and you know, because what's the point? Yeah, we're supposed to be servants. We're supposed to be trying to follow Christ, and part of being a servant is you know, you have to like disregard what you want to do. You're thinking of, okay, what do I want the master to do, or how can I help this other brother? You're not just thinking about I want to do this and that my way. You gotta
Play your role.
and to be a servant, you have to obey something. You're not a servant if you ain't obeying no rules or nobody's telling you not to do nothing, or you know. And Yahushua is doing that as well, and he's, you know, at the right hand of God, he's still obeying orders as well. So how much more us being the lost sheep, or you know, the ones that's trying to follow him, you know.
We ought to walk as he walked.
Right.
This is Matthew 20 and verse 25. Like Yahushua called them unto him and said, ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whatsoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give him his life as a ransom for many. So, like you said, Yahushua didn't come to receive accolades and, you know, grandiose treatment. He came to be a servant to his people, and to gather the lost sheep, and to lay his life down for the flock. And he did those things, and so, as he did, so shall we do in our pursuit of perfection. That's all I got. Anybody else? Yeah.
I was going to make a point about, I think it was you said, about trusting in the Lord, right? Trusting in the Lord and trusting that he's going to deliver you, right? This is just a quick precept. This Psalm 22 and verse 4. It says, our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not confounded. All right, trust in the Lord, man. He's gonna come through with his promise. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
a fact. Oh,
Actually, before we step off this point, even sometimes you have to trust in the Lord as you close your eyes for the final time.
Right.
When
Right.
Stephen was getting stoned,
that's what I thought
Yeah.
about earlier. I'm
yeah,
like,
you know, the Most High made it so that not only did he get to pass basically into paradise, he got to see the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, I was saying he looked up. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, can you imagine you got to see the Yahushua in his full glory, the kingdom of heaven? You don't even feel the rocks in you no more. You like, yo, this is everything I live for. And I get a taste of it. And nobody else gets to see this but me. But if he had said, you know, y'all don't hit me with these rocks, I'm sorry. God would have been like, man, I ain't showing you shit.
Hit him with a bigger
I was thinking about
Yeah,
that.
for real, hit that nigga with a boulder.
When
You
I
know
was
what I'm
bringing out
saying?
the precepts, I was thinking of exactly that. I'm like, nah,
Oh, praise
I
man.
just set it down, but yeah, I mean,
I got you. That's the spirit,
I'm
man.
gonna make a point off of what you were saying. Oh, okay, yeah. Just going back to it because you're talking about like who and how Yahushua was. You know, that lesson of humility that we need to be servants. You know, one thing I think that brothers always need to use as a measuring stick. You know, don't get too high-minded. You know, you're too good to like you said, like get down and wash somebody's feet. I'm gonna take it right back to Sirach 7:15. It says, "Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained." Now we just heard a brother bring out scriptures about us being servants. He ordained that. But it says husbandry, right? We were talking about husbandry and animals, sheep, stuff like that. I want to just get the definition real quick. Make sure we, just get every stone unturned. This is the Oxford definition of husbandry on Google. The first definition, it says the care, cultivation, and breeding of crops and animals. And the second definition is management and conservation of resources. So when you think about a husband, concerning like a marriage, those are all the things that he's dealing with, with children, resources, cultivating, all that stuff. But, in a sense, we got to be husbands ourselves when we're dealing with our people because we got to cultivate them. We got to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to, that point to be added on to the brother's point with our humility, being like Yahushua. He is the husband of Israel, and then I'm going to go to, what I want? Oh, okay. I'm going to go back to John 10 and 9. It says, "I am the door. By me, if any man enter, he shall be saved and shall go in and out and find pasture." One thing, there's more scriptures I can bring on that, but just trying to keep it concise. One thing we got to think about is that Adam was given dominion, Eve was not. Satan came to Eve and promised her everything that Adam had. That wouldn't have worked with Adam because he already had it, right? He had everything other than, the knowledge of, the fruit of the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. Yahushua also knew what his destiny was to be, and that's to, rule the world, have every kingdom, have all the gold, the riches, and all that. So when Satan came to tempt him, what you see is a replay of Adam and Eve in the garden. The difference was, I think that with Adam, with Yahushua, it wasn't necessarily I'm gonna give you something you don't have. He didn't have it at that moment, but he knew he was gonna have it. I think it was more so like a side door, a loophole he was trying to give him. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the trick that a lot of our people fall into all the time. We've spoken about this. We tell our people it's one way. And instead of just going through it, enduring, being a servant, taking care of people when we don't want to, don't feel like it, enduring the harsh punishments, having trust in the Lord when the odds are stacked against us. Instead of us doing that, we want to find a loophole. We're selling out, giving into those temptations, that Satan or the devil or whoever is presenting to us. and you know we drinking of that cup of wine. You know what I mean? And I think that leads to a multitude of evils that in the last days, you know, when that violence poured out, that we're gonna have to drink of those same plagues of Babylon that, you know, we've been sipping on when we were, you know, comfortable. I just wanted to land it there.
Well, y'all, we made it. It's cold as hell. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to end it here, right? I'd like to thank all you brothers for coming out, because I know the roads in some places are actually still icy.
Yeah.
It should warm up. But, yeah, in terms of further correspondence with one another, we'll talk more about Passover, because now we got 2 places that we're looking at in the chat. So chances are I'll just put, hey, everybody owes this much. Get your money in, right? But, y'all, that's not for y'all. That's for us. We're going to go ahead and sign off. This is Sakari, San Antonio, saying call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai, with special guest, Brother Asael from Sons of Thunder. They still are brothers. It don't matter if we got doctrinal differences. We are brothers.
All
Right? But call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Kwam Yasharallah, and Abad Babal. All right, let's get it. All right, let's go.
There's a lot of accidents.